Welcome back, everyone, to Open Line. On the day before, the night before, that's even better, the night before Halloween, we are talking with paranormal investigators, Military Veterans Paranormal, all from the military. And I want to talk more about that in a moment, how you all came together and what you all do. But you do actually investigate these things. Yes. And I'm just fascinated by that. So are some of our callers. Let's go to, let's say all of our callers are. Let's go to Lucy. Hello, Lucy.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, what's on your mind?
Well, I don't mean to scare your guest or anything, but I think they really need to know that I saw Mr. Hall downtown years ago doing a story, and the man was levitating. I'm just joking.
Yeah, really.
I'm one of those, I believe basically what that lady believes, but I'm a firm believer that my house was built on the portal of hell, and the dead are roaming the earth, and they are my neighbors, because I have not had so many weird experiences until I moved here. Now, I have put somebody through Bardo, according to the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and every year, for over 20 years, same time of the month, every year, same month, I start getting Morse code through my lights. Now, I have moved, and it still goes on, and it only goes on with one light fixture, and and I've even tricked it and changed the light bulbs. I'm like, when they blow, when they start doing Morse codes, they'll have to blow in July or something, or 6 months off, or whatever. I've done that, and not only have I done that, I've gone from incandescent to fluorescent, and it doesn't matter. So I'm skeptical. I've had a lot of experiences, but I'm one of those persons that I'll give you a little bit of whatever. Years ago, I had waited and waited to see a guy. His name is Dave Olney, and I went to see his concert in East Nashville, a small venue. I'm not going to say where this is. It'll be inundated probably. And I thought, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I stood back in the hallway almost a complete set, and I heard this woman and this child in the bathroom talking and talking. And finally, I started knocking on the door. Nobody answered. And I knocked louder, and the door opened. With nobody in that bathroom. When I went and told the guy, he said, people have said that. So it was a woman and a child, and I've never had a chance to investigate that. Another time, in the house, now, you said you're not going to talk about the Bell Witch, but this family's related to the Bell Witch, and I know somebody very well that's related to the Bell Witch is Betsy Bell's best friend. But anyway,
good grief.
I was standing in my apartment, and it was a triplex, a converted house, and it was in the middle of the day, and I heard somebody walking like in orthopedic shoes on a wooden floor. My apartment had carpet in it. The apartment in front of me had hardwood floors. The guy had been living there 10 years, and whatever it was, walked up to the partition in the wall, walked right by me, and I'm like, I need to get some help. I ran up front. Nobody was home. Later on, a few days later, I asked the guy if he was home that day. He said, no, what happened? I told him. He says, oh, yeah, everybody's gone through that here.
That's crazy. So, all right, let's talk about all of this. Lucy, thank you.
Well,
do you have one more thing?
Know about spirits following you. Can they follow you?
Oh, not just stay in one house.
All right.
Can they follow you from place to place? That's really creepy, but okay, what about that?
I personally subscribe to the thought that, yes, they can. I don't think you're crazy by any means. I really do think that spirits, if they have an attachment to you, if you've opened up communication with them, anything to that extent, they're going to want to follow you because you're paying attention to them. Whereas if you just ignored them, did you get any particular message in Morse code?
Yeah. That would be my first. That would be my first question. Would be, what is it say? What's the message? Mm-hmm. You know, if you know,
I would think it's an electrical problem. I would think, okay, you know, she changed the light bulb, but it's probably wiring.
As an electrician, that would be the first thing I would check, because I am a journeyman electrician. So. Okay. You're very good to have on the team.
Yes.
Because I would think that happens a lot.
That does. Well, it's not just that. It's also sometimes EM levels breaker boxes, TVs coming on and off, things like that. So one of the first things we do is we have Adam go through and get a baseline to ensure that there's no electrical problems. We have to rule things out first. When you go to the doctor, if you're sick, he doesn't just come in and say, okay, well, you know what, you've got pancreatitis. That's what it is.
Right.
What he does is he comes in, he takes tests, and then he has to start ruling out so that he can then narrow down on a true diagnosis. That's how we work as well.
I would be really upset if they followed me. I mean, it's one thing to get out of the house. You always get out of the house, but then they follow you. That would
it would have
terrible.
to be something extreme, I would think, as to, or maybe think about it this way: if they're following you, what is it that they're trying to tell you? Yeah, obviously, there's a reason. You know, if she's not being harmed or anything, my question would be, okay, what do you want?
Yeah.
You know, what are you trying to tell me?
All right, did y'all bring equipment?
We did.
All right, we're going to take a break. Then we're going to look at some of this equipment. Take a break. Be back right after this.